Hello, everyone. We're here live from the Cisco Gulf Partner Summit 2024, and I have here with me Mr. Richard Piasentin. He is the Vice President for Exedian. Welcome to the interview. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fantastic. I mean, notwithstanding a little bit of jet lag, but only a little bit. I was in Tokyo 2 weeks ago, Vegas last week, and Dubai this week. I'm either the hardest working IT telecom executive in the world, or I have a gambling problem. We don't know which it is.
We don't want to know right now.
No, we don't want to know.
That's brilliant. We're here at the summit, and there is a lot of conversation happening.
Yes.
There are stakeholders from across the industry over here. What is it that you think the stakeholders can take away from this event here today?
Well, there's a lot to unpack in that question, and thank you for that. First and foremost, the partner ecosystem is literally the lifeblood of Cisco. Not only because of the reach, not only because of the expertise, but almost more importantly than anything else, it's the trust and confidence and execution of that partner ecosystem that really makes Cisco successful. And one of the things I'd like the partners to take away from this event is not only that we appreciate the business and the trust, but rather also the fact that our product strategy is truly aligned to the idea of helping our partner ecosystem generate as much business as possible, and frankly, solve the hardest problems in the industry that are out there. We provide the technology and in many areas the expertise. It is our partner ecosystem that brings the context of the client, the reality of the market, and the execution capacity that's required to actually solve those problems for our combined end customers. So an event like this, for me, brings together everything that is Cisco. Specifically with respect to, raw innovation, if you think about it in terms of products and services, we are a product company. We're also a services company. From a product perspective, Cisco has assembled nothing less than the world's most comprehensive observability and security tool sets that exist, frankly. And if you accept the idea, and I'm going to try and simplify a very complex, because, as product guys, we love to talk about technology, so we can get lost. But if you think about the idea that all of the IT and telecom infrastructure in the world, its purpose is really to take a request, either from you or I on our phone or another machine on the network somewhere, take that request and ask an application somewhere to do something for us. If you accept that the purpose of everything in between is to make that happen, and you want to do that with security everywhere, and you want to do that with end user experience or quality of experience at every element of that path, you need a set of assets that give you pure observability from the deepest depth of an application running in a Kubernetes cluster somewhere deep in an AWS cloud, all the way through to an endpoint and potentially a home user's residential gateway. So we know every element of that bit, if you will, its path, that essentially makes up user experience. So when you look at each domain, like people like to talk about cloud, or they talk about service providers, or they talk about retail or B2B enterprise. There are companies that have domain-specific tooling. Cisco really is the only company in the world that brings it all together. And, as much as my company, Exedian, was acquired 6 months ago by Cisco, even I am awed by the acquisition of Splunk. Cisco infrastructure generates, even probably in raw data, and I don't have these numbers off the top of my head, but we probably generate more data from an infrastructure perspective than anybody else in the world. having a security and analytics company that's also the largest in the world and putting them together. And as Chuck said at Cisco Live, we're now one of the top 5 software companies in the world. That's a powerful, powerful combination. So very exciting. Security, obviously, Hypershield, we've talked about it all the time. This is, but maybe what people don't understand is the nature of why that can actually even happen. Because Cisco now owns, and again, I'm calling Splunk Cisco now. Gary's probably wouldn't be happy with me if you heard me do that, but we can make that happen because we own the silicon in the routing and switching platform, as well as the world's leading SIEM and security solutions. So almost automatically, we can do things that nobody else can do. That's only important in the sense that it allows us to protect our customers' networks and our partners' businesses better than anybody else.
That's very, very true. And with the acquisition of Splunk, I think Cisco's more empowered to stitch better solutions together because that's the product and the SIEM sitting on top of that. So that's a lot of intelligence. Now, with that comes a lot of cybersecurity threats as well.
Yes.
So how, if you can maybe probably throw some light on how the network performance monitoring comes into play in this stage, and how do we keep up to speed, making a more secure environment? Sure.
So Exedian is an example. I'll speak from an Exedian perspective to start, and then ladder up to how this works in Cisco more broadly. Exedian was born with the idea of essentially, without again getting too excited about the technical details, born out of the idea that we need a digital twin of infrastructure performance that we can use to manage end user experience. Okay, that's the idea. So when you build a digital twin of something, you don't sample data, you don't do it once in a while. It's continuous. A digital twin is, by its very nature, a twin of your operating infrastructure. So from our perspective, we use that deep observability for performance reasons. If you're the app and I'm the user, are you responding to me in the time I expect you to? What's stopping you from responding to me in the time I expect you to? Is it a piece of network infrastructure? Is it a network event? Anyway, we use all that data in order to solve a performance problem. Well, it turns out that if you're extracting all of this deep visibility from network infrastructure to build a digital twin for performance, while you weren't watching, you also built a great data set to support security operations. So when, to answer your question maybe more briefly, network performance monitoring, or I prefer network performance management, because watching it is interesting. Doing something about it is much more interesting. Those technologies and solutions serve both sides of the same equation, right? The user cares about the quality of their experience, and they are trusting you that it's a secure experience. It's the same bit that we're watching. We're just interpreting it different ways. When it comes to raw observability and how Exedian supports, we have deep network analytics that we provide into Splunk and into other security solutions. In fact, I should probably explain the 3 tenets of service assurance, according to at least the Exedian folks. I'm kidding, of course. It's true for all of us in Cisco. Number 1, we'll integrate with anyone, and it should be bidirectional. Okay? So I'll give you great data. I would like some great data back. It's a pretty simple principle, right? Kind of related to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Anyway, second tenet is, as Cisco employees, we owe it to our customers personas. So the people, so maybe the NetOps guy in one of our customers, or the SecOps guy in one of our customers, the customer service representative who's processing a particular customer's issue. We owe it to our customers' personas to deliver them the best data and insight that Cisco has, how they choose to consume it. This is a really important point. I think historically, not anymore, historically, Cisco's been very siloed in some of its approaches. We get that feedback from our customers. I was at the CNAB and heard it myself. It's a very different force at work inside of Cisco now. It's all about, and if you think about it, Splunk was kind of the last piece of the puzzle. If you want to bind together all of the domains in Cisco, there is no better environment than to do that than Splunk, right? Which is exactly what we're doing today. Anyway, I could talk about that for
No, it's
hours.
brilliant. In fact, it's a lot of knowledge that I've gained through this conversation. But aside from the product side, as Indra Micro being distributors of Cisco solutions and products in the market, how do you think we can translate this product conversation into real business in the Gulf region? How do you think partners can enable themselves to take this into the market?
So that is a fantastic question. So I've been coming to Dubai for the last 4 years. And my first introduction was actually GITEX in, I think it was 2020, maybe?
2019.
2019. Yeah, but pre-COVID. Thank you. Yes. Wow. Okay. I'm having time slips already. That's terrible.
Jet lag.
Yeah. There we go. We'll go with that, right? This is a unique region, and I travel all over the world, which, I wasn't complaining before. I have done manual labor before. Sitting in an airplane's not that hard. I've been all over the world, and this market has something special in it. I don't know if it's from a IT and telecommunications perspective. It's all brand new, and as a consequence, the platform for innovation is stronger. I don't know if it's intrinsic to the very nature of the people, which I actually think that is it. Okay. But there is a drive for innovation in this market that is palpable, that I've not witnessed anywhere else. And frankly, the enthusiasm for innovation that I find in this market matches sort of how I feel. So I love working in the market itself. So how does that translate for the partner ecosystem? One thing that Cisco takes very seriously is the idea of data sovereignty. Now, as Exedian, I've been operating in GCP and AWS and Azure and on customer prems since the day I launched my analytics platform. Now, why? Well, because our original target market was related to service providers. Service providers don't like to give their data to anybody. Well, we truly respect data sovereignty in Cisco. Obviously, we're now the world's largest security company, I think. And as a consequence, we are bringing to this market the innovations so that they can be hosted and run in the market. Now, that may sound a little trivial. It's not. Because that ecosystem of solution and innovation exists inside of the market, it allows Gulf region residents and governments to innovate on that data because it's within their domain, for lack of a better word. I actually think that's a very powerful fuel for developing innovation and business inside of the region. I would also say, just from a GDP growth rates, available cash, et cetera, very strong market. And I think it was one of the other speakers today was commenting around the 21 chief AI officers that have been put in place. I don't think there are any other markets in the world where there's as much availability and enthusiasm for investment and as much ability to have a unified vision around where a set of countries and a country wants to get to.
Sure.
That is an utterly unique combination. And so even pre-Cisco, I wanted to keep coming here, one, because it's a great business and it's a great opportunity, but I also learned so much, right? When I talk to, the largest service providers or MSPs, I learn. In fact, so our platform, the Exedian platform, is multi-tenant, RBAC, and like I said, data sovereignty, run local, right? Even if local means your cloud in your company, or local cloud here. Part of the delivery of that capability was because of our learnings from this market, right? And the MSPs in this market who want to offer innovative services at scale. I mean, I think it's fantastic personally. But anyway, I think I just told you all the things you already knew. But
No. You put things into perspective, keeping the product in mind and keeping Exedian and Cisco solutions in mind, because, like you rightly said, this is the hub of innovation.
Yes.
The people here are passionate about technology, and it's only just getting started. So we do have a long way to go, and we look forward to a lot of these innovations to keep coming. Is there anything else in store that Exedian and Cisco has that you would like to talk about today?
Ooh,
What
anything
can we
that
expect?
what can we expect? Wow, this is where you could really get me into trouble. I think what you can expect from Cisco is, and I would never be so bold as to speak for Chuck and the board. However, both have exhibited a willingness to take a position around where they want to innovate and make significant investments to do so. And I think this is but the beginning of a series of steps to bring about the biggest transformation that we see, which is, and even though I joked that I was going to try not to mention AI, Cisco squarely has in its targets being the infrastructure and services and partner you go to when you want to ensure you have an AI-ready network.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but I won't say anything else.
Okay. We'll watch out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably going to talk to you separately about what's next.
What's next? Yes. Watch this space, as they say.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
But it was a brilliant conversation, and thank you so much for walking me through all of the products and innovations that are in store, that have been launched recently. I think I'm walking away a more educated person after this interview.
Well,
thank you so much.
I appreciate you taking the time.
It was lovely talking to you.
You too.
Have a good day.